Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In response to the blatant ripoffs, Sister Wives fans are calling for the show to end. Viewers are tired of the show and how often it repeats itself at this point. But for the past few seasons, things have been this way. The question that fans have is how long they can keep the show running and still have viewers. To learn more about this circumstance, continue reading. Life of a Sister Wife After Polygamy. Robin, Meri, Christine, and Janelle were the spouses of Kody Brown. But Meri, Janelle, and Christine made the decision to end the marriage almost 3 years ago. They could see that Robin was the favorite wife and were no longer content. But ever since, their lives have appeared to be a lot more content and joyful. David Woolley is Christine's second husband. Janelle and Meri are also leading the finest lives possible. After years of being in a terrible marriage, they are reconnecting with their kids and discovering who they are. The three's departure was praised by the fans. But the program has changed since then, and it probably won't ever be the same. Following tell-all ripoffs, fans demand the show's end. Following the reveal, many are calling for the show to terminate. Nobody is pleased with the way things turned out and how dull they were. As an original fan who has watched every season since the start, I believe I'm finally over it. I've completely lost interest in them, not because I'm upset with them, Crybaby, or Sobin. How come we're still working out the divorce after 3 seasons? Following the conclusion of the previous season, I quit watching. To be honest, I realize I'm not missing anything when I read posts on the sub. It's merely a long, slow show about nothing. After tonight's 4th reveal I'll stop watching. Since they're no longer sister wives, there is no longer a plot. It ought to be the end. This iteration, anyway. After the OG3, I'd be up for a separate show and, if it's feasible, checking in with their kids. However, KNR? Oh no. Oh, just let it be. I slept. Once more. Well, most viewers have finished watching the show. Fans of Sister Wives appear to be tired of the show. Additionally, they are tired of Robin Brown and Kody. The concept of a spin-off of life after marriage is not opposed by viewers. But they don't like the current state of the show. It didn't have to be this way, and the tell-all was still them rehashing the divorce. Is the Sister Wives period coming to an end? Are you prepared for its completion? Comment below with your thoughts. Your opinions on this matter would be greatly appreciated. Lashing out at the autonomy she received through multiple marriages. When it's functioning correctly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband, and you have a great relationship with him, and you have everything, right? And then I have all my independence. So to me, plural marriage really was a really great arrangement. But Kody would never again say, I do, to polygamy. Polygamy kills emotional intimacy, he said in the episode that aired on December 1st. It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy. According to Janelle, once the family moved to Arizona from Las Vegas in 2018, Kody found it more difficult to split his affections. She said on the September 29th show, Kody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. She revealed that he would try to grovel because he was exhausted, saying, I'm really tired. I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robin's house. A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house. The problem for Christine's children, however, was that they saw that Robin and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. Janelle described this separateness her brood felt with Robin, saying, my children were scolded if they would open up Robin's fridge. Robin added that her crew was aware of the division. On the September 29th episode, she revealed, Meri was very accepting of my kids and I overall, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family. However, Gabriel would contend that he and his siblings made a concerted effort to include them. He stated, I think that Robin definitely has a victim complex, during the episode that aired on October 13th. I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat. But he continued, if she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robin ever again. In the September 29th episode, Cody talked about how his and Robin's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he tried to depart, demonstrating how having their dad move between 4 different houses did have an impact on his 18 children. I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me, Cody said. And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly man, this is hard. Janelle insisted, unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning, she said, the kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Cody and Robin mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. During Cody's divorces, Michael T., a mother of 3 and one of the few brown children still close to Robin and Cody, as well as Christine and Janelle, played the role of peacekeeper. Robin was close to Michael T. from the time she joined the Brown family, and she was even invited to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, in November 2022. I was trying to figure out who I was when Robin first joined the family, and she made me feel special and she made me feel seen, Michael T. said in the episode that aired on September 29th. Robin was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. Additionally, her mother Christine was ecstatic. Christine said in the October 6th episode, it was everything that I hoped for when Robin entered the family, and it was clear that she and Michael T. had a great relationship. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. Cody believes that he was taken out of their life by more than just his wives. He gave his perspective on his distance from some of his older children in the October 6th episodes, explaining, they're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. Furthermore, he added, he believes his ex-spouses share some of the responsibility. This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of SD talk, he stated. There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up. Although he bears some of the responsibility, he finds the name-calling offensive. Cody disclosed that one of his children replied to a text message saying, you are a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again anyway. He notably mentioned that he was having trouble connecting with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. I've had one of my kids just say, you're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me, he said to cameras in a different incident. And he's unwilling to deal with that venom. He stated, I'm not going to reach out forever, adding that he believes his grown children ought to be doing more to make things right. I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too. Robin found it extremely painful to witness Cody's alienation from his grown children. During the October 6th program, she said, my parents got divorced when I was little. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, what happened? Why? All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked. No, she wasn't going to let Cody's wounded sentiments prevent him from trying. During their heated on-camera confrontation in late 2022, she admitted, I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit. Cody also admitted that he might be doing more to improve his relationship with his children, but he insisted that he must first heal his heart. Claiming that certain of his children are colluding against me, he said, I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage. When Janelle and Cody's oldest son Logan married his now wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, a large portion of the family was present, but they weren't quite feeling the love. In the October 6th episode, Cody vented to Robin, "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," pointing out that his daughter had not informed him that she was pregnant, her third child, Josephine, who was born in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant." Since they don't talk much, Maddie doesn't really tell her dad anything. Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. Janelle clarified when asked why her daughter avoided Cody during the wedding. She is very protective of her children. Cody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, "Oh, I'm your grandpa," and then be like, "What? Who is this guy? What does Cody think?" In reference to Maddie's life in North Carolina, he stated, "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. In Flagstaff, I have a job and a life." One recurring issue is Cody's insistence on some kind of mea culpa, even though it's evident that he and his adult children have quite different perspectives on their continued separation. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Cody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robin, especially to Robin. Janelle talked about her sons in the October 13th clip. And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me. And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that, Janelle added, and I'm like, whatever Cody. Cody's problem, she added, was that he believed his children had not been faithful to him. Yes, anything. The same was true for Gabriel, who told Janelle about a conversation he had with his father. He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology, he said, and finally I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore. He returned a few days later and texted me. He says, "Hey, I've been looking at what you've been saying." I said, "I forgive you. Please forgive me." I said, "What have you forgiven me for?" "It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call and they'll go out," Janelle explained in the October 13th episode, referring to Cody's relationship with his youngest of the 6 children he shares with Janelle. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, feels that her 4 older brothers have assumed the position of a father figure. The girl has even admitted to Janelle that she hopes to have her siblings marry her. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun, and then he's gone," Janelle explained. "I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is. Wherever he is, I can meet him. It's all right." But Janelle is less understanding. "Look, I've seen this happen," she bemoaned, "and I'm just so frustrated with Cody. Over the years, I've dealt with a number of ladies who are divorced, and the father simply disappears with the children. Gabriel took it very hard because Cody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips," Janelle said early in their father-son conflict. "Cody was a totally engaged father until the last few years. I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again," Gabriel stated in the October 13th episode, despite his feelings of confusion over what he did to enrage his father. "And that's totally fine with me. He's at peace that his dad is not in his life," Janelle said. "That's what I wish for all of my children, you know. And I believe they're all arriving." Cody, for his part, seemed to be accepting of the circumstances. In a confessional, he said, "I've tried to reach out to Gabriel several times but have been turned down. I'm really sorry that he feels that way. However, it wasn't because I didn't try." Despite being the final wife to divorce Cody, Meri formally ended their relationship in late 2022 by asking for and getting what their church refers to as a release on the basis of abandonment. On the October 13th episode, she said, "I know he doesn't like that word because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I believe that he did." She believes that he essentially disregarded her until she decided to go so that he could say, "My hands are clean." Furthermore, Cody acknowledged that he had a small plan. "I had moved on a long time ago," he said in a confessional. "But let's be honest, I was scared of what she would do if I pulled off that band-aid. It's because Meri has never been faithful to me.
I've been concerned about that.
It's merely a matter of reputation, as being divorced ruins your reputation." Meri claimed that instead, it was hers that was being damaged. "It's really just sad that Cody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she stated. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true." Thanks to an exercise suggested by their marital and family therapist in Las Vegas, Christina discovered years before she and Cody parted ways that they weren't a good fit on paper. During the October 20th episode, Christine disclosed that Cody wasn't any of the qualities on the list. "I told him the list, and he's like, 'I'm not any of those things for you.' I said, 'No, you're not.'" Christine wrote down that she was looking for a good communicator, someone who would be present in her and her children's lives, and someone who was attracted to her. She rapidly realized that her now-husband David Woolley was her soulmate, in part because of the missive. She raved about the widower father of 8, saying, "He has owned his own drywall business, and his family is his most important thing. He is known for being straightforward and honest with others, and he is an excellent communicator." Sister Wives fans demand end of show after tell-all ripoffs. Viewers say, "We deserve better than this." After over a decade of emotional highs, painful betrayals, and deeply personal moments laid bare on national television, Sister Wives fans are now saying, enough is enough. Following the latest installment of the much-hyped tell-all series, viewers have erupted across social media with a unified cry, not for more drama, not for another season, but for the show to finally come to an end. Accusations of manipulation, scripted rehashes, and emotionally empty reveals have fans slamming producers and the Brown family alike for what they now consider a blatant tell-all ripoff, an insult to the loyal audience that has stood by the show for 19 seasons. For years, the tell-all episodes were touted as the moment we'd get real answers. The truth behind the tears. The confessions no one dared speak during the main season. But in recent tell-all specials, fans have watched in disappointment as the conversations are sanitized, conflict is avoided, and the real questions are carefully dodged. Now, after Tell-All Part 4 aired, the outrage has reached a boiling point. "I didn't sit through 18 seasons of this family imploding just to watch them lie to us with a smile," one fan posted. "These tell-alls are anything but that, and honestly, I'm done." Many point to the repetitive editing and safe interviewer choices as the reason these episodes feel more like PR exercises than authentic closure. While past seasons attempted to tackle real fractures between Cody and his wives, especially his explosive splits from Christine and Janelle, the tell-alls repeatedly skirt accountability. "Why isn't Cody being held to the fire about his treatment of Meri?" one longtime viewer asked. "Why are we still pretending Robin didn't have a hand in this family falling apart?" It's this frustration, this carefully curated gloss over deep dysfunction, that now feels like betrayal to fans who invested over a decade in watching the Brown family's journey. But this latest special crossed a new line. According to many, there were no real bombshells, just reworded statements viewers already heard in confessional interviews during the main season. Christine says Cody lied, again, one fan summarized. Janelle says she's tired, again. Robin cries, again. It's all recycled. There's nothing new. What's the point? On Reddit, the Sister Wives subreddit is flooded with comments accusing the show of baiting viewers with previews and trailers promising shocking moments, only to deliver nothing but vague emotional summaries and safe conversations. Even the production value is under fire. Fans noticed awkward cuts, reused footage, and what appeared to be scripted prompts from the host, with zero pushback when cast members dodged questions. "How do you call it a tell-all when no one's actually telling anything?" one viewer asked. "It's a tell-nothing. A complete waste of time." What makes this backlash even more intense is that fans believe Sister Wives could have ended on a high note, perhaps even with some dignity, if it had closed the book after Christine's dramatic departure and Janelle's empowering new start. Those episodes felt raw, real, and emotionally compelling. But now, as the family continues to fracture off-screen and the show drags its feet with recycled drama and half-truths, the audience feels like they're watching a ghost of what the show once was. Some longtime viewers are even turning their criticism toward the cast themselves. "Cody just wants to control the narrative," one user wrote. "He sits there smug, rewriting history, and no one calls him out. And Robin's tears? I don't buy them anymore. She has what she wanted, monogamy, and she won't admit it." Others feel even Christine and Janelle are being too careful now, hinting that maybe contracts or behind-the-scenes producer influence are preventing the women from really letting loose. Christine used to tell it like it is. Now, even she seems cautious, a fan noted.